Okay, we got a question from Y Kia. Not sure if this is a man or a woman. Just gonna refer to you as a man, right? Because I'm sexist. Anyway, so wants to know, he says, I'm a huge anime fan, and I want to know how many episodes a day do you need to watch in order to learn Japanese fluently, right? What's the real details of it every day, right? So there's a variation on how long does it take to learn Japanese, right? How many episodes a day? So this person, I assume they probably logged in down below. There's a thing where you can get a free video from me immediately, and it just teaches the technique, my subtitle tutor, about how I learned Japanese, right? Using anime. It's just a little technique, a little tip. It's free. You know, they've gotten that, and they're like, okay, so how do I use this thing? How many times do I use this a day? How many episodes a day? And the answer is it depends. It really does. I've never really graphed it out, but I'm gonna give you my rough estimates of how I learned and how some other students have learned from this method, right? From learning anime to learn Japanese, right? So number one for me, you gotta understand. I said I learned Japanese in a year. It took me 11 months really, right? But who's counting, right? Anyway, it took me 11 months. But I had social anxiety, right? So I quit school. I gave up school. I was like, you know, forget it. I was like 16, 15 years old. I was like, I'm not going to school, right? There's a lot of problems with that, right? There's a lot of custody battles with my parents and all this stuff. It wasn't that simple, but I was like, you know, I'm not going to school. So I didn't go. So I had a whole year where I didn't go to school. What did I do during that time? I learned Japanese. It took me all day, every day for the whole year, right? Every day watching anime, night till night, day, morning to morning. That I didn't sleep literally. Sometimes I was just watching, right? I was so into it. So and if I'm honest though, so it's a lot of time, right? A lot of people think, you know, you watch one episode a day and you learn Japanese from anime. Yay! It's not that simple, right? That's a lot. Some people criticize weeaboos for that. Like, you can't learn it from anime. Well, look at the hard work you have to do, right? And when I say hard work, I mean fun work, because it was fun. I had a good time. Right? I wouldn't trade that time for the world. I was having fun all day, right? But anyway. So did that, took me 11 months, every day, all day long. If I'm honest, probably took me about 8 hours a day, right? Because I had to sleep sometimes, right? I had to eat dinner. I was on forums and stuff. I was playing video games, doing other stuff that wasn't necessarily Japanese learning. So maybe if I'm just a rough estimate, probably 8 hours a day I've learned. That's a lot of fucking episodes. What's that? 16 episodes, two episodes an hour, 16 episodes a day. Maybe I squeeze in a few extra. I don't know. 16, 20 episodes. That's a lot of fucking episodes. Watching, I was a super hyper weeaboo, right? But anyway, a lot of anime. Took me 11 months. So you can do the math from there, clearly, right? If you know, do half of that, then it might take you double the time. You do only do 4 hours a day, it might take you double the time, right? You only do 2 hours a day, it might take you 1/4 of the time. Or 4 times the time. So 4 years. It might take you 4 years. It took me 1 year because I had a lot of time. Now I do have to say one thing though, because that's not entirely accurate, because I now have students who have beaten me in it. I think the fastest one was about 5-6 months. Learned it in 5-6 months. Beat me? How is that possible? I did it all day long. Right? I'm so upset, right, when he did that. But no, it's because he followed the blueprint I laid out, right? I have lots of courses. He joined one of them. He followed what I did. He's like, oh, so Ken did this, so he shortcutted his way. See, when I learned, I spent 3 months figuring out the technique that I gave you down below. I didn't know what worked, what didn't. Researching online, trying stuff out. A lot of stuff didn't just work. This didn't work. A lot of stuff I failed. I tried some books and they sucked. I tried some other courses and they sucked. They didn't work out very well. I tried certain courses and stuff and they didn't work. Or it just didn't work. So it took me months to figure out the method that works, that's efficient enough for me to learn the Japanese language fast. So when this other guy learned from me, he followed my steps, he learned it way faster because he just took away those steps. He's like, all right, so I'll just do what you did, right? Okay, got it, boom. And he learned it in like 5-6 months. So, you know, you can follow his steps, right? He might have a knack for learning though. He might just be a little quicker with the verbal skills. He might just be verbally talented, right? That could be true too. So maybe you add on a few months for yourself. So, you know, really do the math. How much time do you have a day, right? Do you have 2 hours a day? Right? Maybe it'll take you, because he was doing all day long too, right? So I have to be honest about him too. From his, all I got was an email. I don't know anything else, but he says learned in 6 months, did it all day, blah blah blah. So all day long, took them 6 months. Well, if you have half that, if you have 4 hours a day, maybe it might take you a year to watch anime. If you have 2 hours a day, it probably take you 2 years. If you only have 1 hour a day, it might take you 4 years, right? And then this is to say you have the right method. If you don't have the right method, if you don't follow a blueprint that someone laid out for you, that figured it out ahead of time, or maybe you suck at languages, or whatever. It's really most people don't suck at languages. You're speaking English, aren't you? Right? If you're speaking English, you're okay. You're fine. There's nothing wrong with you. Then, if you know, some people take 10 years to learn a language. Why? Because they've used a method that sucks. They read a book, and I don't like this book, and they threw it away. They were inconsistent. They learned for a couple days, they gave it up for a month, and they tried to go back, and they forgot what they learned, and then it took them another month, and then they forget it, I'm not going to do it again. They tried again, and it took them another month to relearn what they learned before. It's going to take you a lot of time to do that. It's going to take you 10 years. Some people take 10 years to learn the language, right? So, how consistent are you? How much time do you have a day? Do you have the right blueprint someone laid out for you ahead of time, so you don't have to dabble and figure stuff out? Well, then you can learn it pretty fast. So really, that's the whole answer. And I should preface this with, it should be enjoyable for you. Enjoy your time learning Japanese, right? That's why I like anime. That's why I promote anime, because it's enjoyable, it's fun, right? You're gonna spend what? I took a year. Some people take 10 years. Some people take 2. Some guys take 6. That's a lot of time. Even if it's 5 months, that's a lot of your time that you're spending doing something. You should enjoy it. Don't waste your life. Your life is in the days, it's in the hours, and in the minutes. Do what's enjoyable to you. Okay, so I hope that answers your question. Bye.